Wednesday on Home and Family, we are spending the day with American Rescue Dog Show host Rebecca Romaine. Plus, I'm serving up an unexpected Italian dessert.
Welcome back, everyone. You may have seen our next guest in such films as Collateral or The Terminal, and he is now showing off his comedic chops in the new sitcom Bob Hearts Abishola. Welcome to our home, Barry Shabaka Henley. Welcome.
Welcome, Barry.
Yeah.
So
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes,
You're out of sight, both of you.
Barry, you're a legend. I mean, we could be here for hours just listing off your credits. You're very impressive, so thank you for being here.
And I'm still alive.
And you're still, look at that. You're a living legend.
Thriving.
So let's talk about your new sitcom. It's a very unique premise. Tell us about it.
Bob Hearts Abishola on CBS is the title of it, and it's a show about a very unlikely relationship. Bob, who describes himself as a white guy that's shaped like a honey-baked ham,
He's right.
falls in love.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Falls in love with this beautiful cardiac nurse from Nigeria. And they have absolutely nothing in common except he has a heart attack and she works as a cardiac nurse. But a very unlikely but very sweet and charming relationship develops.
And how do you fit into the story? Oh, there you go.
Oh, I play her uncle, Uncle Tunde, who she lives with. Her and her 12-year-old son live with my wife and I. And we came to the country first, and then they moved over later after her divorce. And now she's found this guy.
And how does Tunde feel about it?
Tunde is Bob's #1 advocate.
Oh, good. Okay.
He considers himself captain of Team Bob.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fantastic, and you might see it in this clip here. We got a clip where Abishola's aunt and uncle are kind of like, well, check it out, sizing up a gift that she got from Bob. So let's have a look.
Oh, okay.
The inclusions are very minimal. At least 4 carats. He did very well.
I thought so.
I wish he had spoken to me first. I could have got it for him cheaper.
He does not care about the price.
Americans, they believe the more you pay for something, the better it is.
And we know the cheaper you get it, the better you feel.
Today is a wonderful negotiator. He has left many jewelers in tears.
They're not real tears. It's like a little show.
Even if Bob was cheated, this is a lovely gift. I hope you thanked him.
Of course I did.
No, that is not enough. You have to jump up and down. That's what Americans do when they win the his and her jet skis on The Price is Right.
I got to tell you,
The
I
writing
really do.
is genius.
The writing is genius. The chemistry that you all have together is genius. And I also really like the premise of the show because sometimes it just happens like that. Love happens whenever, you may not expect it for sure.
And it's from Chuck Lorre.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
one.
No less.
From the genius, the comedic genius, Chuck Lorre. Speaking of genius, I gotta say, I absolutely love your name, in particular your middle name, Shabaka.
Huh?
It's such an interesting name. Tell us a little bit about it and its origin.
Well, I wasn't born with the name Shabaka. It was
Okay.
a name I took when I was 18, which is now I've had longer than I didn't have it. So, but it's the name of a real person, an Egyptian pharaoh of around 710 BC. He was sort of an unlikely pharaoh. He was a pharaoh's brother, and his brother died. And then it's like, well, you got to take the job now.
Wow.
So he took the job and did an amazing job. I mean, he, rebuilt the Temple of Thebes. He did a lot of cultural rejuvenation of Egypt, settled some wars. And I thought, my life has kind of been on that track. The unlikely things have always happened to me, and I think this would be an appropriate name.
I love
And
you
that was-
included it in
yeah.
your name. Yeah.
You, not too long ago, had a very interesting astrological reading that ended up being very
Wow.
profound.
Whoa.
We do our research.
You did your
Yeah.
research.
We do. This is such an interesting story to me.
Well, it's it was the Ayurvedic astrology, which is a little different from the Western sun sign thing. And I did this reading over the phone with this guy in Canada, and we talked for a bit, and I gave him all my information, birthday, time, and all this stuff, place. And then he calls me back a week later, and he says, I did your chart. I'm going to send it to you, but I have a really weird question. There's 2 contradictory paths in your life that I don't quite understand. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I see this very very heavy artistic thing with communication, media, artistry. But I also see a law enforcement thing. Were you ever a police officer?
About 25 times on TV.
And that's what I said to him. I said, I'm not a police officer, but I do play one on television.
That is amazing.
But what he said was interesting about it is that there was something in law enforcement that helped complete me as a human being. There's a part of the development of your soul that takes place. He said, but there was a very important development that took place in my relationship with law enforcement.
And you actually ended up taking the exam and being part of the law enforcement world for just a little minute, just a little second. In real life I'm talking about too.
Oh yeah, in real life. I spent 6 weeks in the police academy in San Francisco.
See?
I made it out of there, and I did very well.
Well,
yeah, that's not easy.
Well, hold on a minute. Well, let's see how well you're going to do now, because since you've been playing officers for so many times, and you also studied. We got a little questionnaire, a little Q&A around law enforcement. So here's the first question. Are you ready for this? What is the official name of the rights an officer must read to a suspect, granting them the right to remain silent and to seek legal representation? The name of those rights are called?
Miranda.
The Miranda rights.
Ding, ding, ding.
1 for 1.
That's right. All you have to do is watch the police shows, and you know this. I knew when we were studying in school. I was like, I know that one from NYPD Blue. Miranda rights.
I had a little bit of trouble.
When a police officer references berries and cherries, what are they referring to?
I do not know what it is. You got me on that one.
Berries and
Go ahead,
cherries, the lights on the top of the police car.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? In his iconic song, musician Bob Marley confessed, I shot the sheriff but did not shoot
The deputy.
the deputy. All right, good. You have to get that one. Come on.
Well done. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Honor.
Thank
We
you.
just really love
You guys do a
Barry.
great job.
Thank you so much. We'll all be looking forward to watching new episodes of Bob Hart's Abishola all season long. It's such a good show.
See you in a bit.